face.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Stogie Geek Show. This segment is sponsored by Debonair Cigars. Visit stogiegeeks.com/debonair for a list of retailers. I love that Salamone.
Mm-hmm.
Do you smoke a lot of those Salamones?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's coming up because it's time restricted. Right now, the belly it's still there, but the Toro is coming up very fast because I really
and you look on the inside of those bands in the Debonair cigars.
Yep, exactly.
They got the date.
Time, I love
and
that.
I tell you what, I peel back the dates on those Toros.
Yep.
And they're like 2012.
Yeah,
and
hello.
they're smoking so good right now.
I mean, the bellies I still love, but some of these Toros, like you're saying, I got those time restraints with a Salamone is still a phenomenal cigar, but when I got about a 45-minute to an hour time to smoke,
that Toro's great
Toro's
too.
phenomenal.
I really like the Toro, and I think it's an underrated, one of the underrated sizes.
Right, it really truly is. It delivers everything. It's again another journey with that cigar. The Debonair is just. I'll tell you what. I think what you're going to do. His Maduro coming out. That's going to be one of the buzzes of the show. I'm going to say that right now.
I'm telling you, he entered a spot in my regular smoking rotation.
Oh,
for sure.
Yep, it's Mr. Zengi, the Zen Master.
All righty, Mr. Cooper, I want to hear what you've been smoking, my friend.
Actually, before we do that, I just wanted to just go around, and then what I'll do is I'm going to get into the Toro of this, of the J. Grotto anniversary. But what's everyone getting on their short Robusto right now?
I tell you what, I find this to have the most body of all the cigars. If that you know what I'm saying? And that malty, silky taste in my mouth, what I get on all the Vitolas. And that's what I've been smoking a lot of this week, preparing for the show. And it's like I go back and forth. The Perfecto, and I tell you what, the short Robusto right here is really one of my two favorites. But that Toro is the difference in the bigger thing I'm trying to get at. That little 5x56 is just unbelievable with the body in that cigar. The closing on that cigar is wonderful. Really good.
The 58 ring gauge that we smoked tonight, I thought was very good. Mm-hmm. The retrohale, like you said, Will, had some. It really is what helped keep my attention in the cigar. You can really feel it in the retrohale, and it was a very nice spice, very nice flavors in the retrohale.
I got subtle spices, but what I think we're not even touching the total component of this cigar because I'm not saying it's young. I'm just saying it hasn't matured yet. This cigar, 6 months out, even from now, is going to get even better. That's my assessment on the whole line. It's going to get better and better and better. It's going to round into a fabulous smoke.
There was some really nice change-ups as the smoke went through.
How about you, Coop?
I agree. I actually, one thing I commented when I reviewed the Toro is this is a cigar you definitely want to, I don't want to say dry box, but you want to store it at a lower humidity. You don't want this thing to get wet.
No, because it's going to.
I agree.
So it's a little drier. And in general, I'll say that about broadleaf, but with this one, I would say for sure, especially if you're smoking this bigger ring gauge. Now, for all the stogie geeks out there who are poo-pooing a big ring gauge, you need to try this short Robusto.
All right, and I'm not. And you guys know me, and I think some of the people that watch or listen to our show, I'm far from that. And that was one of the ones I was really pushing for. And because I had the original blend was a little bit more full of body, we tweaked that a little bit, and I'm telling you, I really enjoy it, and I think it's going to be a really big hit for us. I really do. I'm really enjoying it, and the construction, Mr. Zengi did a great job. The drawer on it is right where I want to be.
Oh yeah, burn drawn construction.
Yeah.
Perfect, impeccable.
And like you're saying, almost I won't say every cigar, but anything with a darker wrapper on it. Moisture can really can wreak havoc on it, and that can go like Coop mentioned in his review on it. Anything with a Connecticut broadleaf needs time to dry out.
I agree.
Yeah, and I meant to ask Nicholas that question too about that. You know, because I think it's from what I heard, it's like a sponge, the broadleaf, and it just absorbs that moisture.
And now they could use and here it is. Even when they're rolling it, they're using more water to make it more pliable, more so than a regular, not regular, but different types of tobacco. It's really unique. It's got a different. I don't want to say it's typical. It's got that malted taste to it, a malted chocolate taste to it. It's really unique and different.
Hey, Adam wants to know if you've got a nice fancy chair in which you smoke your beloved 5 Vega cigars.
Oh, absolutely. I got a nice, beautiful. I got
porcelain.
A hammock. Yeah. Yep. I just can't. I can't stop at those. I can't. I'm ordering at least another box.
Throw off the side of the boat.
I threw that off that goddamn boat. Yep.
You've come up with a couple of ratings.
Yeah.
A new rating.
Yeah. Throw it off the boat. Oh God, throw it off the boat. I'm telling you. And the other one I wanted to ask Nick too is I left my mind. We was talking Coronas and was the Corona Viva. I forgot all about that. I tell you I love that smoke. Anyway, Coop, what you been smoking this week?
Yeah, so I actually smoked the Toro, the T650 and the J Grotto Anniversary. And we talked about the blend earlier in the show. And this is still going to be a full strength, full bodied cigar. And just like what we've been smoking, you're going to feel that power of this smoke from a nicotine and a body on that retrohale, and it's gonna be a spice. The more you retrohale it, the more spice you're gonna get. It was interesting because I was trying to pinpoint the flavor. I was saying I was getting some rich espresso flavor, but now that you've said it, that chocolate malt, I can see some of it. I see more of it on this.
Oh, absolutely.
So I got a little less of the syrupy on the short Robusto as opposed to the 50 ring gauge. I tell you, there was a lot of flavor transitions on that Toro, so it kind of morphed a few times in from the espresso flavor. I got a little bit of Maduro sweetness, which is kind of a little bit of that cherry, a little that citrus sweetness. It was more of a white pepper I got, I think, on the spice on that one, in my opinion. Of course, there's some earth flavors. Impeccable construction on this thing. I never rate a pre-release, but this one, if I had to say it, it's box worthy or Chuck Norris. I mean, this. I'm telling you, I know they're our sponsor, but I'm telling you, if you're going to be at the trade show or if you have a retailer going to, they need to check this cigar out. This is a great line. This is a great line. Paul Doyle and Phil Zengi have to hit this one out of the park.
Right. Absolutely.
Mr. Stogie Santa?
I haven't got anything to really. What I've been doing this week, I've been smoking some releases that I can't really talk about because of right. But that and been doing a lot of J Grottos this week because I'm preparing for the show. So what I'm going to do is chime in on what you guys have been smoking.
Sure. I got an Oasis level smoke in there somewhere, but we'll get to it.
Oh, it's got to be the one you. Do that Davidoff. Can you lead with that?
You want to do that first?
No. Let's save that for right in the middle of the pot. Okay, let's do that in the middle. How's that? Is that fair enough?
Yeah. So this is the Nestor Miranda. What is he calling this one? The new one that we did the interview with him. What is he calling that one, Will? I don't remember now.
The Collection.
The Collection.
Now, which color band was it?
This is a teal and black band. This is the Connecticut shade.
Okay. Yep.
This is the Corona size.
Yep.
I tell you what, the Connecticut in his blend, I've smoked the one that I smoked with him, which I think was the Maduro, and a lot of people are talking about the Connecticut and saying they really like it, and I agree with them. This is a fantastic smoke, and I haven't been too kind of big on the Ecuadorian Connecticut's lately, but this one it's got a punch of spice to it. It's got a little bit of pepper when it starts. They packed it with much stronger tobaccos, but wrapped it in that Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper. It's very smooth. This is a fantastic smoke. This very well could be a box split in my book.
What's the MSRP on it?
I don't know.
No idea. No, don't worry.
But anyway, it's a great smoke, especially in this Corona size with coffee in the morning. It's still not overpowering, but it packs a lot of flavor punch. It's got a little bit more strength than your average Connecticut. I'm starting to like some of these more amped up Connecticut's. And I tell you what, he did a really nice job with the Connecticut.
I'll tell you one Connecticut really caught me by surprise. We kind of dabbled with it last week's show. That cigar by Oscar. I'll tell you.
So you spoke to Connecticut because I'm going to talk about the Sumatra.
Yeah, I want to see what I was supposed to. He thought the rep for him, Mike Ferraro. He had 3 of them. He said, "I'm going to go get them." All he had was the Connecticut, and I'll tell you what. I mean, there was no spice on it whatsoever, but the flavor on that for an early morning smoke was really. And
which one is this now?
It's cigar by Oscar.
Okay. Leaf by Oscar.
Yeah, Leaf by Oscar cigar or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, Leaf by Oscar. Kind of a little little gimmicky with the wrapper on the cigar.
Oh yeah, it's a tobacco leaf.
Leaf. You know.
Yeah, Coop talked about that.
I have some pictures of the Sumatra on the Stogie feed.
So I want to see what it's all about when you do the Sumatra. I'm kind of curious.
Yep.
Will, back to you.
Yep. So I guess I'll go into the Sumatra.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been smoking these for a few weeks now, a few months actually. And he's done. So if you look at my Stogie feed, there's a picture, and basically you'll see that it's as Stogie Santa mentioned. Instead of cellophane, they wrap it in a tobacco leaf, and it's like a peanut pod.
Yeah.
So you can say it's a little gimmicky, but I kind of think it has a lot of charm to it.
Oh, it does. I agree.
Yep. Yeah, he did. Now these are Honduran blends. Okay, so they all have Honduran binder and filler, but there's different wrappers. And Stogie Santa was talking about the Ecuadorian Connecticut. There's, I believe, a Honduran Maduro. There is a Honduran Corojo, and this one's an Ecuadorian Sumatra that I smoked. They come in one size, a 6x50, and they have a price point of $9.95, so they are a little bit higher. What you need to know about this is it's done by a blender named Oscar Valadares. He's a boutique. He has a factory in Honduras. A guy named Jim Robinson out of Leaf and Bean in Pittsburgh, basically, I think really spearheaded this cigar. He started selling it in his shop, but now they're taking it national. One thing that I really liked about this cigar that I thought was different is, we talk a lot about Ecuadorian Sumatra blends, but most of them are either Ecuadorian Sumatra over Dominican, Ecuadorian Sumatra over Nicaraguan, or Ecuadorian Sumatra over Dominican Nicaraguan. But this one's entirely over Honduran, which I don't think you see a lot of those out there.
No.
I mean, there's not a lot I can name.
Yep.
Of that.
That's a great point.
So I thought this had a very different flavor profile. It had a lot of that earthy Honduran flavors, but I was getting a little bit of milk chocolate, not quite the chocolate you're getting on these J. Grotto anniversaries, but some white pepper, very natural tobacco. There was a little bit of, I called the earthy flavor more of a doughy component almost. It had almost like the taste of like a dough in your mouth, but it wasn't like harsh. It kind of added a little body to it on the palate. The flavors, I'd say, are medium to full bodied. It's medium strength. Construction's been fantastic on all of these Leaf cigars. I thought it was an excellent cigar. It's a box split. Mm-hmm. I'd say the Sumatra like I said, the only one I haven't had is the Corojo. It's probably my second favorite behind the Maduro.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, I think you're going to hear more coming out of the trade show with these guys.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, now that they're going national.
I had this interesting cigar smoking experience. This is actually a release from 2009 from Griffin's. It's their 25th special edition, which I reviewed on the show before, and I gave it a box split. I went to go back to it. I don't remember where I got these. Did you guys have these in there?
And I know that Stogie sent me one, and I
think I cleaned you guys out.
Well, you did. Maybe one of you guys.
I sent you. Oh, there's some more.
So stupidly, I lit one and then went out on my boat, and I didn't bring any more cigars with me when I went out on my boat.
A 3-hour tour.
Yeah, a 3-hour tour. It wasn't in the ocean right there. It was just like on a little pond in my neighborhood, right? But I was taking my nephew fishing, and I was smoking one of these. He wanted to go fishing, so I'm like, let's go out on the boat. And I put it down on the boat, kind of like underneath my seat, so where I'd rest my cigar. And I'm like, what is burning my leg? I'm like, it's got to be leaning up against the boat, and it was hot from sitting in the sun. And I'm like, it's like kind of hurts, and I'm kind of fishing, and I'm like, really, I look down at my cigar's burning my leg.
Nice.
Like I have two like huge burn marks in my leg. Idiot. And so then, you're fishing. I don't know how many you've got listeners out there that you go fishing before, but fishing is a whole experience in and of itself. My nephew goes to cast and like gets his line caught on one of my other poles, and I'm untangling that, and I get untangled, and my cigar had fallen on the floor of the boat, and then I had stepped on it, and this was the Griffin's 25th anniversary special edition. I wouldn't have normally done a redo on this one, but I was really enjoying the cigar, and then I freaking stepped on it, and I didn't have anything else to light up. So, bring more cigars with you when you go fishing, not like me. So I'm like, that cigar was good. I got to try another one to really pay attention to the flavors.
I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
And what you normally do is step on the, as Johan said, from Davidoff, you step on the cigar at the end of it.
See, I was
not
in
the
the
beginning
middle.
or the middle,
Yeah.
at the end.
And I added the effect of burning myself with it.
Oh, yeah. See? So if you have a scar, you'll always remember that.
So the one morning this week, I lit one of these up, and I really paid attention to the flavors. And when you first light this up, you get this kind of like, I don't know if you've ever seen like a bale of hay that's been sitting around like wet for a while, and it has that ranky, horrible hay, moldy flavor. That's the flavor I got.
Did you have any mold in the cigar?
No.
I didn't get that at all.
Oh, like the first maybe 10 puffs of the cigar were just like this hay flavor that was somewhat horrible. Thankfully, that goes away completely. And the cigar starts coming to life. And there's just this amazing sweetness flavor. The cigar completely changes from when you first light it up. There's this amazing sweet flavor. And I'll stick with my rating. This may be box worthy. I may upgrade my rating on this. These cigars are aging so awesome. This is the Griffin's 25th anniversary. It was a special edition in 2009. There were only 3,500 ceramic jars available worldwide. And again, I'll go back to my original review. Said caramel sweetness, and I tell you what, this cigar embodies that. It is just a phenomenal smoke.
Now, when you smoked that, Coop, did you get a little spice, just a little like white pepper spice off that?
Yeah, in fact, there was a lot more spice on that than I gave that cigar credit for.
Yeah,
not your average Griffins.
No,
right?
That's what I got. That's what I got when I smoked the cigar. That was right off the bat. That's what I got.
Yeah.
I didn't get anything.
It went south when I remember when Paul and I both smoked these. We talked about it went south in the second half on me.
Oh yeah.
Did it go this time south on you, Paul, or did it stay good the whole time?
I don't know if that's age or whatnot, but I remember after the first like 10 puffs or so, this thing was just enjoyable the whole way through.
Griffin's is one of those brands. If you're a Davidoff fan, I think it's a good brand. It's more. I think they're more popular in Europe. They're trying to build a little more of the market here, but it's one. If you're a Davidoff fan, Griffin's is a very good complementary brand. It's another good complementary brand under that Davidoff umbrella. But I think you can gravitate to that.
And this cigar, I mean, there is not a lot of information about this cigar. There's not a ton of reviews posted on the internet about them. When you search for this cigar, you actually come up with our review that I talked about on the show previously. So it's kind of one of those hidden gems, in my opinion.
It was still overall a good cigar. I remember it was just more amped up than I expected from
that's what I got the second half, I wouldn't say it fell apart, but it went into a regular Griffin.
Okay, that's a fairer thing to say, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's where it was like I was smoking a 300 Tubo or something. It was just like,
I would say if you see these, definitely try one. And they've got subsequent limited releases that come out from Griffin's. Talking with the Davidoff folks that were in the shop earlier this week, they said there's a new one coming out.
Right.
So I'm anxious to try that one as well. I think it's something to put on your radar.
Yeah, we have it on Cigar Coop, actually.
Right. And
the Clubhouse 2.
Right.
Clubhouse 2, yes, I did read that on Cigar Coop.
That's what it is. And that's where it comes in, to paraphrase Nick, the positioning of the leaves, what that does for that cigar.
Yep. I liked it. Coop, back to you.
So this week I smoked several of Jose Blanco's Señoros. And the one I'm going to talk about today is actually, it's probably, I haven't had them all yet, but it's a front runner for Bella de Ball. It's the Corona Gorda. number 5. It's that classic 5.5 by 46. This is a great blend by Jose. What he put together. The guts of this cigar, he says Dominican. He's got Palito Cabano and Dominican Corojo in the filler. But, it's a multinational blend. He's got a Habano Ecuador wrapper with a Nicaraguan binder. I tell you, this one thing I got off this cigar, I got a raisin flavors, particularly in the first third of it. Provided some great sweetness in it. In the second third, this thing became more of I almost called it a grainy type of flavor, but I don't mean that in a bad way. It was kind of like an earthy note with some real texture or three-dimensionality to it. I called it a grainy flavor. And then there was some spice in the last third that didn't overwhelm. Now, Blanco said it's the strongest cigar he blended. He's not known for his nicotine bombs. So I didn't find this to be a powerhouse cigar, but I found it to have a little more kick than what I would expect from a Jose Blanco cigar. It's like medium to full in strength, and the flavors are definitely rich. They're full-bodied on this. It's excellent construction. One thing I called it a box-worthy cigar. This has been so far, I think the core lines that have been released this year, there's not been a lot of great ones. This J. Grano anniversary is going to be a great one. But, Jose Blanco, he's got a core line out there that's really solid. And if he can keep the production consistency out of Tabacalero Palma, this cigar could be a staple for a while. I really enjoyed this cigar.
I did too so far. Mine's the Robusto. I enjoyed the Robusto.
I haven't had that one yet. I've had the
Corona.
The Corona Gorda.
I had the Corona.
Have you guys smoked any of the Pudgy Monsters?
No, I have not gotten that to yet.
Sadly, I have not either.
No, I
haven't.
Okay. It's funny. I have not got to that yet.
So I've smoked the Face, which in this offering comes in a 4 3/8 by 56.
Mm-hmm.
I've smoked the Drac, which comes in a 5 by 52. And right now I'm smoking the Frank from the Pudgy Monsters, which comes in a 5 5/8 by 49. A little spoiler, I'm definitely enjoying the Frank the best out of all three. Yeah. Yeah, it really, really and I lit up the Frank because it is a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper with Nicaraguan binder and filler, and it's just really, really, really good. It's probably, out of the 3 that I smoked so far, the most well-balanced, and that broadleaf wrapper really gives a nice flavor. Talk about the Face. It brought me back to when we smoked the original Faces when they first came out. Got a little more of a bang to it, a little more of a punch to it. It probably could have used some age before. I think they smoke a little better with like a year of age on them. It gives you that punch up in the front, and then it almost mellowed out a little bit in the middle, and then amped up in strength towards the end. So it makes some nice change-ups. It's a really nice size. 4 3/8 by 56 is great. It's a pretty great size for that blend, and I really liked it. The Drac was very good as well. I really do like the Drac blend, and you had actually gifted me, Stogies, saying, on one of the original Dracs, and I really, really like that with some age on it. The Drac is a Habano Ecuador Maduro Nicaraguan binder and fillers, and that 5 by 52 size in the little torpedo is a really cool size to smoke. I really liked it. It has the Drac has more of like that Nicaraguan twang to it. It's got a little bit of a twang to it,
I know
it's not a spicy component so much, but it's kind of almost in that family, right? It's more of like a spicy flavor than it is a kind of feel on your palate. But I like the Drac blend for that because it's pretty unique in that flavor profile. I do have to say so far that the Frank is, as far as the most well balanced. And producing flavors that are very consistent and very pleasing. Frank is definitely the winner. I have not yet smoked the Wolf, Mummy, or Jason from the Pudgy Monsters, but those are on my list maybe next week. We'll get through those. So I kind of went to the ones that were my favorite, and I think that my favorites are definitely Frank, Drac, and Face.
It's almost unfair to Pete in the sense that you ever do some cigars that you try not to do any expectations and don't lead up to them.
Right.
And with Pete's cigars, you almost expect a 5-star every time.
Yeah, you do.
Isn't it? I'm not saying he's the only one. He's not the only one that does that, but for the most part, and it's amazing. His consistency is just off the charts. what he does is just phenomenal, and you know, or I should say, you know, with collaboration with Pepin by all means, but it's just it's never I never had a tatuaje that I could ever call an angler.
No, yeah, I mean Drac and Face are, I mean. They're box worthy, in that I wish I could buy 10-count boxes. The Frank, I mean, I may actually buy a couple. I may buy a couple of 10-count boxes of the Frank.
What I'm going to try to do is start off again. I want to get the Larraqueza. I want to start. I want to redo.
I have one of those in my box to smoke. Yeah,
I just think that cigar
it's got some age on it too. Yeah.
It's just a wonderful, wonderful blend.
And I tell you what, the Cabaguan, talked about it in a previous show. Yeah. I love that blend. Love that.
Before you go to your next cigar, I personally think Jose's cigar, we were talking about Grotto, I think Jose's cigar within about 3, 4, 5 months from now is going to be unbelievable. I really do. I found it to be the balance, like with the Robusto, I smoked one that was decent, the other one was, I just think it's, with that time essence on that cigar, it's going to do wonders. I really do.
You definitely see it.
Can't you see it? Just it's almost, it's knocking on the door saying, it's box worthy. I got it. I think it can go. It has the potential to go towards. I wouldn't say Chuck Norris, but above a box. I really do. I truly feel that way. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I think right now I have it around a box. Maybe if I
got a box split.
Maybe it came out like a 3.8, on our scale where I rounded it up to the box.
I got it. Yep.
But I see it getting better. I see it as a line that can grow.
Yeah. Oh, there's no.
You can extend it with Lancero, Perfecto. I mean, there's a lot you can do with that. And he talked. I think he's looking at a Lancero. It sounded like.
Yeah, and by all means, I just.
It's different too. So the thing is, it's not your cookie cutter Dominican cigar.
No, far from that. Far from that.
And he's using. Hey, look, you got Hochi Blanco tobacco, and then you got a guy like Jose Blanco working with Hochi Blanco. That's a dynamic combination to really produce something dynamite. And
I can understand him and his wife. I understand how they feel so excited about this release. I can see the passion. I can feel it when I smoke it. I really do.
I gotta make a little thing. Jose and his wife gifted my wife one of these scarves, the Señoral scarves.
Oh, wow.
And my wife just loves it. If you look at the artwork that was done for that, and it's a picture of the band, which is just a real.
That's the only
like
band. It was so funny. I wanted to mention this to Jose. I wanted to ping him. That's the only cigar band I've ever seen that can use blue and pull it off.
Yeah. It's a tough color to put in.
Blue like that.
I'm not a blue man when it comes to a cigar. Yeah. And I looked at it. You talk about, I don't know, whoever designed that band did a great job.
Well, you smoking a Patron 1926 number 35?
No,
Maduro?
number 6.
Number 6?
Number 6.
I had the number. Maybe it was a number 6.
Yeah, the number 6 is it is a Robusto. It's just.
I said that in the natural wrapper.
They're both good. Oh, you put the natural wrapper with some. Just give it a year. That's all.
Oh, it's so good.
Your 26 age much better than 60. 64s fall apart.
Yeah.
Not fall apart, but they don't age as well.
No, it wasn't. I smoked the. What did you call that?
Number 6.
Number 6. I smoked the number 6 in the natural.
Oh, it is. I'm telling you.
Oh, man. It is so good.
It's amazing cigar.
Talk about a regular production.
Yeah, and then that's and that's what I wanted to ask. I'll make it real quick. With the FDA coming down and whatnot, and all, I'm not going to get into what they're going to do and what not they're going to do. What it's going to be what is in the back of the mind? How far do you want to go with new blends? I mean, what I'm saying? The planning of it. Oh God.
No, I hear you.
Every time there's sometimes.
But I see the pipeline, and there's stuff in the pipeline still.
Mm.
Now I don't know. Maybe this stuff's going
whatever's going to happen, it's going to take 2 to 3 years for it to come to fruition. But what I'm worried about is just now they're saying they're trying to get it down to the $5 level or whatever. The $10 cigar, anything with that. I don't even want it at a $2 level. I don't want them to do anything. Leave us alone.
Yep.
Because it's sometimes I'm in my car. I feel like I want to drive it off the cliff when I listen to some of the, I got the Sirius radio and I hear some talking and whatever. What's review cigars? I don't want to get depressed.
Yeah. So you want my Oasis cigar?
Oh no, I want one before that.
Okay. So we did a whole segment on the Colorado Claro from Davidoff before.
That was a great job you did on that, yeah.
Thank you. And I mentioned that there was a size that I had not smoked yet that was their newer size. I don't know if it was IPCPR last year or the year before. They came out with the Anniversario number 3. In the
that was last year.
Yeah, last year in the Colorado Claro. And I had the opportunity to smoke one. And it was very, very good. It was very good. It opens up with those kind of herbal flavors, which dissipate. It's amped up on the strength profile compared to a lot of the other Davidoffs that are in the line, Puro de Oro aside. Very good, excellent offering in the Colorado Claro blend. I wouldn't, if I had a box of these in my humidor, I would be hard pressed not to smoke them.
You want to hear something very discouraging? I couldn't believe it. We have a young gentleman, Nate. He is just turned 20. And I'll tell you what, he's probably got one of the better palates I've ever seen for a young gentleman. And the conversation is great. I almost threw him out of the store. The Colorado Perfecto, he didn't like it. He said it wasn't good at all.
Really?
Oh my goodness.
I said the same thing. I said, I said, were you on crack? Were you, like in some kind of a mood that you were in a bad? And he says, no, that's the first time, I've got to say, through all the, cigar online bullshit. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that?
I just remember when I smoked that because I was with Paul handed me to that when we first met face to face.
Yeah.
And that's just a memorable smoke.
Great,
I just
isn't
loved
it?
in that
Can you almost every time you smoke one?
Yeah.
You don't forget it.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope, you just don't.
And the short Perfecto still is the bell of the ball in the line.
Oh,
the Anniversario number 3, don't get me wrong,
no,
this
it's
is a
nice,
very
but
good
short
cigar.
Perfecto is
It probably ranks with the Robusto in that line. It
remember
smokes
when
very similar to the
we were at
Robusto.
Studio B, and I don't know who we were interviewing it for, we were just talking. You gave me a cigar. I couldn't even talk.
Yeah.
I don't know, which is a good thing.
That short Perfecto is...
It's
Yeah, so the
amazing.
number 3, I would say on par with the Robusto.
Okay.
I probably like the specialty, the pyramid, a little better. I would put this in the Robusto kind of in the
I
same
was talking
category.
with, and please forgive me, the national sales rep for Davidoff, they're discontinuing the Millennium in the Lancero.
Lancero, yes, they are.
Now, I never had that. Coop, did you ever have that?
I have not had it in the Lancero.
How about
I'll give you one.
What was your assessment?
I kind of have mixed results with those. I find that the older ones are better than some of the newer ones. I don't think that in the Lancero was very consistent. But it's a great smoke.
Okay.
It's a great smoke.
Speaking of that, where's the
There
ice
goes
cubes?
my theory. You're going to have big companies and not producing the Lanceros. It's the small
thank you.
companies that are doing it.
Yeah, I agree with it. I don't know why Davidoff's getting rid of the Millennium Blend Lancero.
Well, I'm sure
it's great.
numbers.
I think it has a lot to do with it. Yeah.
No, it's not everything's going to be a home run. I guess.
I'm kind of buying them up now because I know they're not going to produce them
All right.
anymore.
Well, so what's your next one, Coop?
All right. So I may take a little grief on this one.
Okay.
But the Antiquidad by My Father's Cigars. And I've kind of held off on talking about this one for a few weeks because I've smoked through several of them. So this is, if you look at this cigar, right, it's Flor de las Antillas, the sequel.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at it. It's box pressed. It's got the Spanish portrait on it, and it was I was even told by someone, they called it a Flor de las Antillas on steroids. So it's a different blend. It's using it's not a puro like the Flor de las Antillas. It's using a Habano Ecuador wrapper, Rosado. I call it a Rosado Oscuro over Nicaraguan tobacco.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
You're
Smoke to this.
Coop, can you start again, buddy? Back it up a little bit. We froze up. We got he froze again. Oh.
We lost Will.
I was kind of disappointed.
Coop, can you back it up? You were frozen. Excuse me. Can you when you said the risotto, from there on you were frozen. We didn't know what you were saying. Could you stop that?
Okay, I apologize.
No, it's not
you. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So just so I basically when I started smoke the first time I smoked this, I was disappointed. it was no better than a try one, and it just didn't do a lot for me. But I bought several of them, and I bought them all in the Toro size, and I've started to smoke through these more and more. And it was one of these cigars that each time I smoked it, I started picking up something more. So I don't know if it's just because it was sitting in my humidor, maybe it was just when I had it, but I started enjoying this cigar a lot more. Each time I had it. It just seemed to just do more and more each time. It had some black cherry notes in it, some coffee, it had some pepper. It smoked a little bit like a Maduro, even though it's not technically a Maduro. It had the sweetness is kind of subtle on this cigar. It wasn't a spice bomb either, like, a Pepin cigar, but it was definitely a stronger cigar. It was more full body. You definitely feel the flip. It definitely had more nicotine. It's medium to full in strength. I actually now I have it at a point where it's a box split. I'm really enjoying this. My question with this cigar, I don't know what the aging potential is going to be.
Okay.
So I know it said it got better over time, but I think it may be more that I was picking up more. I just don't know where this cigar is going to be a year from now right now. But it's at a price point of $750. Another core line that came out that it's going to be a niche core line. This is not going to have the widespread appeal that Flor de los Antillas has. Mm-hmm. That's a cigar that really you can put in everyone's hands. This is going to be for more of someone looking for something a little more fuller. But people are going to try this cigar, and the thing is, I wouldn't compare it to a Flor de los Antillas. It's a totally different cigar in my book.
I'm going to elaborate a little more. What I found with that cigar, after 3 or 4, it fought me tooth and nail. I'm not saying it was a bad cigar, but as I think the aging potential in this cigar is going to be very, very, very good. It just needs a little bit more time to balance out. That's what I think. That's how I feel about it.
When I first had, when you had it though, the first time it was I thought it was one dimensional the first time I had
it. What I found is I thought it was. Because of being unbalanced, I didn't like the forefront of spice all the time. You see, I'm not saying it was heavy spice, but that's all I was getting. It was just muting the other flavors in the cigar. You see, that was my opinion.
And I think maybe over time it wasn't. I found it. I saw these other flavors start to emerge. Mm-hmm. So maybe over time, and I don't know which. Do you remember which size you smoked?
No, it wasn't a larger one. I don't remember. Let's put it this way, because there's some credence in what you're saying, Coop. Because we had a little event that we did, and we had the cigars in for like 3 weeks before that, and they did okay. Then we had the event, and now it's been a month or so or whatever, and the sales are picking up more and more and more. We're out of the 6x60s are flying off the shelf. That seems to be the best Vitola with the public right now. I think it was at the Corona Grande. I know I smoked that. That's sold out. So there is some credence to what you're saying, and I think you're onto something, because I tell you, the sales on this, we've done well. We've done well with the cigar. And it's going to be something, if someone's coming and looking for I wouldn't call it on steroids. I think that's not a good explanation.
I didn't think it was either.
No.
It was a fuller cigar, but it was not Flor de los Antillas.
No. And I think time is going to do wonders for the cigar. I really do. It's going to balance itself out. My opinion, for what it's worth. So, all right, Paul.
I don't know if I've asked you this question before, but from the retail perspective, is Flor de los Antillas possibly one of the most successful cigars in the last 3 or 4 years that has come? I mean, I just see retailers reordering, and they're still selling even a year and a half after getting that number one cigar.
And on top of that, how's this? The Toro's always done. Hi, Dave. The Toro's always done well. The Toro Gordo has flown out of the store. Flown. That's probably our store number one seller of all the Pepins.
Wow.
And I'll tell you, the one I miss dearly is that 10th anniversary. You talk about what age is done with that cigar. That is box worthy all day long. All day long. The Pepin, that 10th anniversary. I love that cigar.
Really?
Love that. I again, think about it. When I first had that, I wasn't overwhelmed. And Coop, you picked it up right away, and you were on it, and you were dead on. Dead on. Made me a believer. So we're going to switch over to Paul with our Oasis of the Week.
So I do want to say that I think something that contributed to the experience with this cigar was a little later in the morning, and I realized that I was caffeine deprived, and I reached for. I remembered that my friend had gifted me some cold brew coffee.
Oh, that is fabulous! You ever do that?
He put it in a jar, and I put it in my refrigerator.
You know how long that takes to brew?
24 hours.
Yeah.
He brewed it for 24 hours with some fabulous coffee beans. I want to say that one of our other friends who was staying with Larry at the time had gone to Colombia for work and brought back some beans. And Larry was like, I got these Colombian beans, so let me make some cold brew coffee.
Yeah.
And brought me some and said mix a third of the coffee with water. Put the over ice, third coffee, 2/3 water.
Yeah.
So I did that, and I took the first sip, and I was like, that may be the best coffee that I've ever had. I was like, holy crap, that is some good, so smooth.
Do it with iced coffee, too.
Yeah, iced. That's what I did. Iced. It was just full of flavor. Awesome. So that's what I was drinking at the time.
Okay.
And I decided to light up the Davidoff Royal Salamones.
Oh, wow. I knew it. Just by the way your face, you tried to keep that poker
I tried
face.
to have my I have a horrible poker face.
Right.
Yeah, you were poker before the show on that.
I was trying to be poker face.
He was trying to poke me.
Exactly.
I thought I was going to have a construction problem.
Yeah.
No, the cigar smoked beautifully. I tell you what, this is an 8 1/4 by 57 Salamone. It's a gigantic Salamone. It smokes just as well as any other cigar, just as well as some of my other favorite Salamones, like the Debonair Salamone, the Paul Camarian Salamone. Right from when you light it up, there was no burn, draw, construction issues whatsoever. And I tell you, the flavors were just out of this world. It was medium embodied. It had a little bit of spice, and the flavors were smooth, creamy, buttery, all throughout the cigar.
Ooh, I love that buttery.
A little bit of cinnamon flavor thrown in there, some complexity. I smoked this cigar all the way down to the nub, 2.5 hours. I was not bored by it. I was satisfied after it. I was like, well, I don't know what do you follow that up with?
Wow.
8 1/4 by 57 cigar that I smoked down to the nub. Just phenomenal. Paired with that coffee was just
I'll tell you,
grand
coffee,
slam combination with this cigar.
Coffee can do so much for a cigar.
I tell you, this cigar to me is Oasis. It is hands down the best cigar I've smoked this year, I think, on the new releases.
Well, for $56, it should be, right?
So, prices are around the $45 to $50 range for this cigar, and that's my one critique about it is this is not a cigar you're gonna go buy 10 of on a whim, right?
You will.
This is the special occasion cigar. This is a cigar you go buy one of. Yeah. I mean, at that price point.
Braden's birthday, Dean's birthday type thing, right?
I come up with some special occasions. That
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you can't
buy 10. Tomorrow's Friday. That's a special occasion, right?
I'm gonna run you, but I'm gonna take this a little further on Salamones. I got 2 sweet spots on a Salamone. Whatever I'm smoking, Debonair, Paul Camarian, et cetera, et cetera. Right at what the bulb. Okay, you light it up, and then right at that bulb, right at the thicker part.
Yeah.
And then the last inch to 2 inches
down.
It just.
That's what makes those cigars great. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't it? It's just like, okay, I just lost my favorite part of the cigar. It's smoking really good, and then I get it down right around here. I'm saying, hey, here we go again. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. And with a Salamone, like you're saying, you got to dedicate. That's what I do.
2.5 hours.
I told Mrs. Santa one time when I had the Debonair. Wait, I got time. I got it. I can't be. I'm ADD as it is, but when cigar smoking, it's even worse. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
It's in a journey.
So this is on the.
I have to get one.
The Davidoff Royal Salamones. It's an Ecuadorian wrapper, Dominican binder, and 7 different tobaccos, aged a minimum of 7 years, and it is just. It's one.
I wish you would have done that before that, just so you could have told the. What was his name? Jeff what? I can't remember. The national sales rep for Davidoff.
Oh yeah,
Jeff Bean.
Yeah.
Jeff.
I hadn't smoked it when I.
And he really wanted to hit it. Seriously, he left. He goes, I wish you would have smoked it. I said, so I got to tell Johan.
Because I think he said that. So the other cigar that I smoked was the the same blend, and they make it in a Robusto. It's around $35. Not as good as the Salomon. Don't know. Here we are. Mincing words and sizes and price.
Right.
That Royal Robusto, same blend as the Salomon. $35. Very, very good cigar.
Light brown to it, color-wise?
Yeah, the wrappers are absolutely gorgeous. The Robusto was very good, but the Salomon had way more flavor. Way more. I mean, this thing poured flavor for 2.5 hours straight.
Think about that. I think that what you can say for any Salomon that you smoke, you weren't bored by it because
I was not. It kept my It kept my attention the whole time. That's why I was blown away, actually.
And I asked the sales rep, I asked him about the Nicaraguan one, would you do a Lancero? And his eyes kind of went, No commitments.
Yeah. Now, I don't want to keep talking about this cigar, but I tell you.
Davidoff's got even a more expensive cigar coming out.
It's unbelievable.
Really?
That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, I don't know the details other than it's a more expensive one. So
where's it go?
Hearsay, so don't.
Yeah.
Can't report on it yet,
the whole thing is people don't realize cigars like Davidoff and it's like an age statement, like a 25-year-old Scotch. When you're doing 8-9-year-old type of tobaccos and let it just sitting there, that doesn't happen overnight.
No.
You know what I mean? People don't realize they kind of see it, a visual statement on the label, 25, 15 or whatever. They don't understand when you just sit there and let tobacco just age for that amount of time. That's a significant amount.
And I hate to keep talking about a $45, $50 stick because it's not one you're going to smoke a lot of.
Right.
But I tell you what, if you're in a store and you see these, you got to pick one up. I know it's
they come in a 10 count, no doubt.
No, they come in a 50 count box with a retail price tag of $2,385.
Yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, this is not clearly they're not marketing towards like even buying a box of 10, right? A lot of Salomons come in those boxes of 10.
Talk about being brazen. Seriously,
this is like you buy one, you save it for
we're
that
number
special
one,
occasion.
and that's it. Okay.
My best advice is
it's not a box split.
It's not a box split. You're buying one of these and smoke it when you've got some time, 2.5 hours at least, to just sit and enjoy your cigar. And you won't be disappointed. Believe me, I've smoked some Davidoff special releases that I'm like, it was good. It was, by no means a bad cigar. This is one you have to try.
Okay, enough of Davidoff. Come on, Coop, what you got?
Let me. I want to go back to the coffee piece real quick, if I
sure.
can.
Oh, I know he's going with this one.
Did you see the news out of Romacraft this week?
Yes, I did. I can't wait.
Yeah, so Skip's coming out with he's actually going to be packaging. He's branding. He's not making the coffee, and he corrected me on that.
Right.
He's going to be coming out with an intemperance coffee at the show. Right. And apparently he said it, and this is the point I want to make. He said it pairs really well with the intemperance BA, or the intemperance cigars. He didn't say BA, which I was a little surprised about because I always thought of the one I would think it would pair with is the Cro-Magnon.
Yeah.
So I'm really, and it's a really interesting story. It's a small batch production. He's making the coffee's being made in Nicaragua. I'm really excited about that.
Me too. Hopefully there's some there for us.
I thought of you as soon as I
pinged him out on that one.
Our production assistant Chris says he's got a great pairing. He says that I like my woman like whiskey, aged 18 and mixed with Coke.
Oh, there you go. See this? We're rubbing off on producer Chris. And they can't talk. Okay.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
Okay, this is supposed to be a G-rated show.
This is supposed to,
okay, what's your next one, Coop?
Go ahead, Coop.
All right, so this is my last one. This one made me think of Paul a bit. I smoked one of the new Villiger cigars, the Cuellar Connecticut Cream. And I think it's interesting what Villiger has done. They've come out with several lines of cigars, and they're not putting the Villiger name on it, so they're kind of moving away from that.
Yeah.
So they branded this one Cuellar, Connecticut Cream. It's named after a conquistador who was sailed with Columbus named Diego Vasquez de Cuellar. And then Connecticut Cream, obviously, because it is a creamy cigar. It's coming out of Hochi Blanco's factory again. It's an Ecuadorian Connecticut leaf. The binder is a Lajero binder of Cuban seed piloto. and then it's Cuban seed and Criollo 98 filler. It's a 6x54 Toro Godar I smoked. Price point was really reasonable on the 650, and I thought this was just a wonderful morning smoke. This is just it's a milder smoke. I thought it had really good flavors. It had notes of cream wood. It had a little bit of a fruit sweetness, and a little bit of black pepper. It's kind of, when I was talking about last week the Nat Sherman Sterling, it's that subtle flavor. It's not going to overpower you. I thought the construction was great, and I just thought for a 650 cigar, nice morning smoke, a good value here. I had it as a box split, and it's a cigar definitely. We have Villiger coming on the show late next month, so it's definitely something I want to get up to Paul to try.
It's a cigar that I think a lot of people missed on, and I'll probably catch some slack on this. The Villiger on the the Talanger.
That's the other one.
I did was a Corona. Yeah, the Corona.
They've done.
I brought the cigar in because I personally liked it. It did go over well, and I'm going to tell you something. That cigar is misunderstood. I think it's a good smoke. I really do. Great morning smoke with a cup of coffee, and price point was like $6.99. How could you go wrong? And unfortunately, it didn't do well. I was really kind of disappointed, but oh well.
This is a different. It's a completely different blend. But definitely, like I said, I see a lot of appeal. I mean, and they branded it. The packaging is really, really nice on this cigar too. So it looks like it doesn't look like a cheap cigar by any means. Even if you pull the bands off, it's just very well made. It looks. I was impressed with this cigar. It surprised me a lot.
Okay, Paul.
The next one I smoked was the Balmoral Añejo 18. Balmoral Royal Selection Añejo 18.
Oh, that's Chris's age.
That's right.
That little Coke in there, and
now you can have a cigar with your whiskey and Coke and 18-year-olds. What's the story behind this cigar? Do you guys know the story?
Go ahead, Coop.
Here's what. Do you want to go story saying? You want me to?
No, go ahead. You can do it.
Yeah, go ahead, Coop.
Here's what I understand about it, and this kind of clarifies the point we were talking about last week. So we were mentioning a cigar that Davidoff made for Drew Estate. I think it was kind of where we went. Well, it turned out it was this cigar when we were talking before the show, and that is really the case. So here's what happened. There's a brand I believe it's out of the Netherlands named Balmoral. They were distributed by Davidoff for a while. They make a lot of cigarillos. The distribution agreement in the U.S. ended with Davidoff, and it's moved over to Drew Estate right now.
Gotcha.
So this cigar now it's going to be under the Drew Estate umbrella, and they're going to be handling the distribution here. I've heard good things about this cigar.
I smoked it. I want to see what he.
I smoked it. I've smoked it. It's. Go ahead, Paul. I'll let you go.
Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I think my overall rating is probably around a 5 or so. It had a good flavor profile. It didn't
that's
wow
fair
me.
enough.
Yeah,
that's fair enough.
It didn't wow me. There wasn't a whole lot of complexity to it, but it had good flavor. I enjoyed it, but it didn't.
The price,
wow
what
me.
kept me from a $5, and I
the
don't like
price point.
Yeah, the price
high,
point.
Right?
Yeah, I to that cigar, like I said, I didn't know what it wanted to do.
Yeah.
I just didn't know what it wanted to do. I was waiting for something to happen, and it never happened.
Yes, exactly.
And it we're the only one to have it in the state of Rhode Island, and it's again, that's why. It's a cigar for everybody, It's a cigar for everybody, I should say, and it's done well.
Now, Paul, I'm just trying because again, I don't think you had it in your feed, but is this the Brazilian Maduro that you had? You said the Añejo 18, right? Was that the one you had? So this is the Brazilian Maduro.
Royal Selection Añejo 18. There is another site that has a review. I will link to it when I post my.
Yeah, it's the Brazilian Maduro.
It says origin.
I think it's Brazilian Maduro guts on that.
Yeah,
from what I
Brazilian
remember.
Maduro with Dominican fillers.
You could take the Dominican. That's what you. I love Dominican tobacco, but it didn't perform.
It didn't have that like a big flavor punch.
No, I just found to me what I would say, and I could be totally wrong. The primings on this couldn't have been very high.
No,
There's
it
no
left
way.
you kind of searching for flavors on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It had a little, from what I'm remembering about that, I've only had it once. Mm-hmm. It did have a little bit of a Cuban feel to it, though. I don't want to say it's a little bit Cuban-esque. It was.
Why? Do you get some floral notes off that?
I didn't get any kind of floral notes or earth or anything like that. It was kind of.
No, I was trying.
I thought I got some. I mean,
I thought I see. That's what I thought. I don't know if I was trying to
see. That's why I was saying it.
Me too. I don't know if I was trying to make that up in my mind that I thought I was smoking, but it wasn't citrus.
Mild. It was milder smoke.
It wasn't a citrus. I got a floral.
Yeah,
a floral note to it. But anyway, that's enough.
Anyway, about that. I think that's pretty much all I had.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I'm done.
Yeah. Was there any contest updates you want to do, Will?
Yeah, yes. I don't mean to jump in on Will's account. The winner of the last contest, though, the cigars will be going out tomorrow to Adam and what was I have it right over here. Adam Love. He gets a 5-pack of Perotis. And
a 5-pack of what?
Perotis and Trader Jack's, right?
Yeah, Trader Jack's.
Trader Jack's, yes.
No, that contest will be closed tomorrow morning. They'll be out.
And Nick Fry, I think, was the other winner,
I'm sorry, Nick. Yep, those two will. I'm sorry for the delay. It's been crazy at the store getting ready for the show and shipping things out and blah, blah, blah. We got all that stuff shipped out to Vegas today. Whew.
I do want to say a big thanks to CLE Cigars and Christian Aroa, who kindly gifted us a whole bunch of cigars and a travel case and things like that. I gifted one of our production assistants here, Nick. He's given a thumbs up to the Asylum 99 Problems Lancero, which I liked. I thought it was good. I thought that was a $5 in my book. I think it has a very consistent flavor profile, and it was a very good cigar. I got some of the new Aroa.
Yeah, I'm going to smoke that one
tomorrow.
In the
Maduro.
Yeah, the CBTs.
I tell you what, it was a very classy thing CLE did. Not only did they send you the little travel case, but they filled it with cigars. They filled it with this new Robusto in the Maduro, which is great. In a whole, some Edgar Hoyle and Asylum 13, the Barbara Pole Ogres in there as well. So you'll be hearing about those smokes. I just got them today, so you'll be hearing more about them on future episodes. And again, thank you to CLE Cigars. And it came with a handwritten note. Handwritten note.
Really
from Christian.
Yeah, mine too.
Very classy. Very classy. That was a very nice gesture. So I posted a picture on Twitter.
Yeah, no, I agree. We'll be talking about those.
Yeah, and I really like the Aroa blend.
The new ones.
In that,
really good.
What is that smallest size he has in that? It's like a short Robusto almost. Somewhere between a Petite Corona and short Robusto. It's like in between.
That is just
that little smoke that he has in the Aroa blend is.
It's a pricey price point where people are maybe hesitant with it, and I get it, but
then they have their signature one.
Yeah, I'm talking about the signature.
I'm talking about his regular Aroa blend.
The Prensado. You're talking Prensado. That Prensado is a phenomenal smoke.
Yep.
And I think
now you're talking about the new one that we
signature.
Smoked. That signature,
man.
I don't know if we talked about it in the last show or not, did we?
We were. I think Stogies Santa was talking about it.
Yeah,
I
that's
more
really
of them,
very unique. It's a stronger cigar, I think, than the Prensado.
Yeah.
But it's so balanced. It's by the time you smoke it, you're saying, wow.
Balance, complexity. I smoked the Robusto. Flavors. I thought it was stronger. The Robusto was stronger than like the Corona size that I had smoked.
Yeah, the Corona size, right.
Corona was a little amped down in strength. The Robusto was a little amped up.
Usually the other way around, but.
It just, they hit a home run with that blend.
I know something. I love the idea of no bands.
Yeah.
I like that. It was very rustic looking. Yeah. Great. He kept it simple. See the line.
But let me ask you a question, though. For that price point, do you think that was a smart move?
No. No. I think that price point's going to hurt that cigar. There's no doubt in my mind.
But it is a small batch. He didn't do a massive run of these cigars.
No.
I think he's going to appeal to the cigar geeks with that blend. Because if you're a cigar geek, you're probably going to like that blend.
That's not going to be any box sales on that. By any means, that's going to be the 2, the 3.
Yeah.
I think even 5 is going to be difficult to do. But they'll sell out.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm going to go back. That was his decision.
So I'm going to go back and smoke some of the other sizes, but that's how much I like it. I'm going to definitely do more sampling there. If you're smoking a lot of the Asylum 13, 60 rings.
I got so many samples to go through. I got the new Caldwell cigars that came in.
I haven't smoked those yet.
I have some of them too. And I'm going to probably talk about them on the next show.
Yeah, well, I don't think that will be in 2 weeks, right?
Well, that's what we.
We got a show next week.
I don't know. You guys are going to be happy.
No, it's right. I can't. I'll be out.
We'll talk about it after the show.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah. There's no Thursday show next week. Whether there's a show next week, we still have to determine that. But we will be back on the air the 24th with George Rodriguez.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, thanks everyone for listening to the Stogie Geek Show, and we'll see everyone on the next episode.
Join the CRA.
Oh, isn't that the truth, my friend? Yep. Ciao for now. Hey, let me know when we're off the air. I got a little